Yeah, I just my hat's off to our guys, our team. I told them after the game that, other than obviously winning the Super Bowl a few years ago, greatest coaching victory as a team, this one's right up there with it. And my hat's off to our guys for just battling. And as deep a hole as we dug in the first half, there was you guys have been around our team, there's no quit in our guys. And they did an outstanding job obviously in the second half, and Riley kicking that ball at the end was obviously a thing of beauty.
Doug, from your perspective, having played quarterback, can you relate and give us some appreciation for what Trevor did tonight, throwing 4 picks and then rallying back with 4 touchdowns to get the win?
I sure can. I played with one of the greatest quarterbacks ever in Brett Favre, and there were times when he didn't have a great first half and came back in the second half and could light it up. And that's what I love about Trevor and his demeanor and his aggressiveness and the ability to just forget and move on. But he'll be the first one to tell you that it's not about him. It's the guys around him too. Made plays. Protection was good. Receivers were doing a nice job being where they needed to be. But from an individual standpoint, it was this is really a great performance by our quarterback.
Coach, what does it say about this team that they never flinched down that much and just kept fighting back?
I mean, it's everything. It's just what I told them at halftime. It's kind of like our season. And we've put ourselves in a hole at times, and then we've worked ourselves out of it at times. And just to have the resiliency and the fight and the desire and the ability to continue to play, because it could have easily gone the other way, right? And that's what I'm so proud of these guys for. Everything's on the line, and they go out and get the job done.
Doug, quarterbacks make their reputation, become elite guys in the playoffs. What does this performance today say about Trevor and where he's headed, what he can do for this franchise? I'll
just keep saying it. It's a step in the right direction for him and for our team, for our franchise. And we love having Trevor as our quarterback, and he never flinches. You saw the emotion on the sneak, on the goal line. I think it was that the 2-point conversion. At that you saw the emotion, right? And that's who he is. And I love the fact that he's leading our football team. But it's a step in the direction that we want this organization to go. We want him to go, our team to go. And, we just got to continue to build on that.
Coach Bruce Hope, Florida Star newspaper. What type of tactical adjustments were you able to make at the half that allowed you and your team to come all the way back?
I think one of them was just we had to kind of go up tempo, be on the ball a little bit more in the second half when we got down so many scores there, 3 scores at least. And we just felt like we needed to get a spark, and be up tempo. And we were just more efficient in the passing game, and that's what it takes. Sometimes it just takes the guys the desire and the want to play better, on offense, and they did. But I really think the up tempo stuff helped us in the second half to kind of get us back in the football game.
Doug, could you talk about calling the timeout? Did you just not like what you saw from the Chargers' defensive front on the 4th and half yard?
Yeah,
and then electing to go outside.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the look that we had for the play we had called, and so I just took the timeout. We reloaded, regrouped, put our heads together, came up with that call, and just a great effort by Travis, to obviously hit it off tackle there and get the first down and more.
So you're okay with the risk of it going outside?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, listen, if they're outside, you go inside. If they're inside, you go outside. And Travis is a heck of a back that can do that, and with his speed and ability, made a great play in that moment.
Did you tell Riley anything in particular before he went out there, or did he say anything that comes to mind?
No. Didn't say a word to him.
And he's made 17 out of 18 since that Chiefs game. Is this guy become very reliable, I would suppose?
I mean, Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a big moment for him, and for him to make that kick under these circumstances is great for his his career too. And I'm just I'm proud of him for battling through what he's a little shaky start to start the season, but he's really locked in here at the end of the year, and nothing greater than that kick here at the end.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. The question is on the 2-point conversion. You saw that they got the penalty. I mean, was it one of those things you had to really think about? Should I go for the 2-pointer, or it was never a thought of changing up?
Never a doubt. I trust in the players, trust our decision. Felt good about our call that we had, and what it does is it either a field goal wins or you got to score a touchdown to win. And so, you get in these moments, and listen, you trust the players, and you want to win the football game. You want to do it for them. And, they battled their tails off, so there was no hesitation on that.
Doug, just to clarify, would you have gone for 2 without the penalty?
Probably not.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up right here in the middle.
All right. Okay, hold on here. Coach, this is a total phenomenon, and congratulations on your success. Now, coming back from halftime, knowing what's your strategy when you come back from halftime, knowing that score is what, 27 or something? What was your strategy?
The strategy was just one play at a time, and we knew the defense was starting the second half, so we felt like defensively we had to get off the field at some point. We're trying to create takeaways, turnovers, things of that nature, and if we could, offense just had to just regroup and score. And we talked about possibly having to score every time we touched the ball, every possession in the second half, and so that was the strategy. We just had to be a one play at a time mentality.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Riley Patterson will be right in here any moment, so those who'd like to stick around.
Just a reminder.
Riley, congratulations.
Hey, good to see you.
I think we talked a little bit about the way you've kicked since the Kansas City game, and I'm wondering, was it just the positive stuff going through your mind as when it got to the point where you're going to go out there and try it, and did Logan say anything reassuring to you in any way, or maybe any other teammates before you kicked it?
Well, after I, got him away from the ref, he said, just another Wednesday practice, which I had no idea. He told me that afterwards. I couldn't hear a thing he was saying. I was kind of locked in at that point. But yeah, I had no doubt, all the faith in the world, everybody on the line, Ross, Logan, perfect snap, perfect hold, and it was really pretty flawless. It was awesome.
Hey, Riley, at what point, you're down 27-0 at half, or just before half, at what point did you feel like, I got a shot this might come down to me to kick a field goal to win this thing?
Yeah, when we got about 10 points down, I was like, okay, well, we have an opportunity to maybe tie this up with a field goal going into the overtime. But I ended up getting that 2-point conversion out of nowhere, and then I'm like, oh, wow, we could, win this on a field goal. But at the same time, we're professionals. I try not to think too far ahead. Just try and kind of stay in the zone and keep my, heartbeat down and stay locked in as much as I can.
Right down the left.
Congratulations, Riley. You remember the last time you had to kick something like that in that moment where, moving on was important. It's not just another game, but this is playoffs. Anything as important as this? That's what I'm asking, really.
The Cowboys game was definitely a big game, and I think we really needed that game. So putting that one into overtime, that field goal was really big. And but to win it back in college against Houston, my senior year, my last game at home, that was a big moment, and that was kind of our rival. So that was huge. That was a lot of fun. This is pretty sweet though. Playoff game at home, doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, you dream of stuff like this as a kicker.
All right, thanks, Riley.
Yep. Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate your time. Yeah.
What was the probability of coming from behind down 27-0
And if you had to pin it on a moment in the second half, when did it turn?
It was gradual. I mean, the odds, I told them boys, I don't like my odds, but I love my chances. Like, as long as there's a little probability of winning at all, we're going to keep fighting. And when we saw the table starting turning, we had momentum, we kept that. Just keep getting the ball back to the offense. They started rolling. I couldn't pinpoint an exact time, but when we started making them punt, when we started scoring, I think that, touchdown to Evan maybe over the middle. You know, once we saw we had a larger chance, you know, might as well take it.
Hey, Foye, first career playoff game for you. Is this one, especially with the way it went, that you'll remember forever?
Yeah, probably, yeah. That was crazy. We were down and we won. I just love the way the boys came together as a team when things got hard. We went in the locker room, everybody was pretty calm. We said, you know, we're not playing well. Let's play better. And everybody said, we're going to play better for our brothers, you know, buy some more time for our brothers. And when we came together like that, everybody's accountability went up and we all played hard and, you know, came out with the win.
Bruce Hope, Florida Star newspaper. When the offense starts getting it rolling like they did in the second half, what does that do for you guys as a defense? Because you know you start flying around more, the energy picks up. Tell me kind of where you were on that.
It's cool to see them start going. It turned from stops to let's get 3 and outs. Like, let's get the ball back to them as soon as possible. Keep getting the ball in their hands because they're going to do something special with it. So we was on our you know, P's and Q's, but we was mad about letting them drive that one drive that they missed a field goal on. Our job when the offense is rolling to get the ball back to them as soon as possible, and they'll just take the game over.
Back here in the back, Will Brown, WJCT News. You all have been here before toward the end of games. The Giants, here at Everbank, TIAA Bank, I'm sorry. The Giants, the Raiders, the Texans. Yeah. You've been here a lot. How much did all of those experiences of games coming down to the last 3 minutes here at home help you all get back into this game? Yeah, I mean, we down 20-something, a lot. And we've been down a lot of times. Obviously, early in the year, we came back and lost. And then later in the year, as the middle of the year went on, we came back and won. So it was the same energy. Let's just make this game close. And, you know, if we do the right things at the end of the game, we went end of half. We got a touchdown. We came back, you know. We got 7, came back after halftime. I think they might have got 3 or something, but we kept fighting, made that game closer and closer. Let's chip away. That game's close. We'll take our shot at the end of the game, and that's what we did. You know, I told them boys we just need one stop. We're going to win it. We had that stop. They went down and kicked the field goal, and that's just situational football.
Strategically, what changed at halftime? Like,
good question. What happened? What changed?
Well, yeah. Well, what changed at halftime? Like, they obviously had a few short fields to start, you know, going into the half and things of that nature. But then after halftime, you previously mentioned that you guys had more of a sense of urgency. It was more about getting 3 and outs. Mm-hmm. Did anything change as far as coverages, as far as the game plan, anything along those lines, or was it just, hey, play better?
Yeah, kind of play better. We had seen the plays that they run to our specific coverages, so we kind of went over how to match the routes and, you know, get a little bit of a different nuance within the pass rush, but really just execute our plays. We put some plays in for this week, and we needed to execute them.
Foye, what were you?
Brian and Mark and finish with Scott.
What was the conversation among the defense in the first half, the defenders, when you saw interception after interception that had you guys on your heel defending the red zone? How did you guys rally a bit when things were seemingly coming downhill on you guys?
Yeah, we just got to keep them at the end zone in those situations. You know, offense, we were just waiting for them to start going. If we just made a couple stops when we were putting those situations backed up, you know, offense is going to capitalize off of that. So our job in those situations is keep them at the end zone. And we weren't doing it at first, so we all came into halftime. We're like, you know, we need to play better. We need to communicate better, get there with more urgency, tackle better. I know I missed a tackle like maybe first drive, second drive. Just do what we're supposed to do. And when the offense gets rolling, they'll do that.
Mark and finish with Scott.
Congrats on the victory. 30-26 penalty against the Chargers allows you guys to go for 2 instead of kicking the extra point and then field goal ties it. You get the, you know, Trevor gets the 2-pointer. How does that change everything in mindset of the defense?
What happened on that penalty? I don't even know what happened.
It was a.
Oh.
It was bad. It was a bad penalty. But obviously, he could have taken the 15 yards and kicked off from the 50, maybe an onside. But they went for 2. You got it. How does that change the whole way the defense thinks? Because now field goal wins it instead of ties it.
We didn't even think about that. I told them boys while they was driving to score that touchdown, we get one stop, we're going to win the game. One stop to win it. We had the momentum at that time. Offense was rolling. Whether they scored the touchdown and made it a 3-point game, I felt like we get a stop, they're going to go score 7. We knew if we got that stop, we was going to win the game. So when it was 2 points instead, it was even further. Let's make this 3 and out, get the ball back to them, and then offense did what they needed to do, run that clock out for the game-winning field goal.
Congratulations for moving on today. 3 straight games, but that Dallas Cowboys game that you came from behind in double digits, do you feel that that game itself probably provided you with a lot of momentum going into the final year, that you had such an incredible contest tonight to pull it out under unbelievable circumstances?
Kind of like how we were talking about earlier, we had a lot of close games this year. The Giants game, I think maybe came back in the Ravens game, the Raiders game. We did those earlier. Then that Detroit game happened, and we just knew the kind of energy and fight we needed to have for 4 quarters. And we knew if we just brought what we're supposed to bring to the table, anything is possible. So, yeah, that Dallas game was cool to see, but we had kind of learned our winning equation a little bit earlier than that. It's just our accountability on doing that. That's just kind of how we are as a team right now. We just keep fighting all the way through. No matter what's happening in the game, we're going to put ourselves in what we feel is the best chance to win, regardless of what happened in the beginning.
Thank you for you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
I've had these made for a couple weeks, but felt like the right day.
Trevor,
What you guys got?
Bruce Oak, Florida Star newspaper. Congrats on a huge win. So biggest question for you, 4 first half interceptions, probably the worst half of football you played maybe in your football life so far. But you managed to bounce back, lead the team to victory. How were you able to do that? What did Coach tell you? What did you tell yourself? Thank you.
I mean, it just kind of, I said it after the game, it kind of just sums up our season, that, the game tonight. And for myself, obviously, definitely the worst half of my football life, of a lot of people's football life too. So some type of history probably in that stat. But I mean, really just, I felt like only one of those plays was a bad decision. So I felt like I was seeing things all right. They made a couple great plays. There was one where, Zay got tangled up and, for whatever, we'll leave it at that. And the guy made a good play though, on the first or the 4th down, earlier in the game. And then the one when we were backed up was a bad decision. So I felt like, I was seeing it all right and just needed to settle in. We didn't really get any momentum going. We couldn't get a drive going. So I really just felt like we needed to settle in, and then our defense just kept getting stops for us. And I knew once we could get the ball and kind of get rolling for that first score like we did at the end of the half, once we kind of got that and got the momentum back, felt good about. I mean, we've been in that situation before, not that many points, but, similar situations. So that's the thing. I mean, just the belief in this team. It's kind of, it's really cool to see what can happen when everybody believes. And, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did today and what the offense was able to do in the second half to bounce back. Also the defense, if we didn't believe in one another. And that was, I threw 4 picks in the first half, and those guys beside me on offense and the guys on the other side of the ball didn't ever lose faith in me. And that's one thing that makes it easier when you got guys that believe in you, no matter what the circumstances are.
Trevor, Doug's play calling that 4th and 1 to hand off to Travis, him calling timeout right before kind of maybe get you guys settled down. Can you just talk about, really the confidence you guys have when you line up for that and just confidence in Doug and his play call?
Yeah, I mean, there was, we actually had a different call on before, and he didn't like the look that the defense was in, and it's probably smart, looking back at it. So got the timeout off. I was kind of mad at first because I thought it was going to work. So and then he, told me what he was saying. I'm like, all right, sounds good. So then he got the new call in and just, get the ball in Travis's hands and makes a play like that, wins the game for us essentially. Obviously Riley won the game, but putting us in position there takes a lot of guts there, 4th and 1, game on the line. And just the guys up front, they just mashed them. They set the edge and Travis was rolling.
Hey, Trevor, some close losses early in the season for the Jags, but where did the belief to battle out of a deficit like this one come? I mean, late in the year, you guys have been comebacks left and right. Where did that, come from?
I think we've always had it, and we weren't on the right side of them for a few weeks, but I really think we never stopped believing. That was the main thing. We had 5 losses, those 5 losses in a row, all 1-score games, had opportunities to win it. And even after that 5th one, it's like never wavered, never lost belief. Coach didn't lose belief in us. And that's how we dug our way out of it. And same thing we did tonight. That's why I said it kind of epitomizes our season. You know, you're never out of it. And I think that's the one lesson that we've all learned. I know I've learned this year is just, like I said, just when you believe and everybody believes, it's cool what you can accomplish. And you know, tonight was one of those games.
Trevor, how do you top what you guys just did tonight and what you did tonight?
Hopefully we don't have to. Hopefully we play a little bit better next week. You know, hats off the defense. Hopefully they played just like they did tonight. They did a great job. But offensively, you know, you can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win. We found a way tonight, but it's probably not a good formula moving forward. So I know for just personally, it shouldn't take that type of second half to go win the game. You know, if you just play better in the first half and take care of the ball. And you know, I didn't play my best tonight, so I'm going to watch the tape. There's going to be so much to learn from. But honestly, I mean, you couldn't write a better script than to win a game like that tonight. So it makes it more special, but don't want to do that again. So, you know, got to take care of the ball. That's where it starts. You know, I think besides that, it was a pretty, you know, all phases played pretty well besides just the turnovers on offense. You know, I think I know we can be better on third down. We weren't great tonight, so it's another area to improve on. But took advantage of our red zone opportunities, scored on most of those or all of those. So yeah, I mean, just hang on to the ball.
Trevor, your receivers said that as the interception or turnovers are piling up, that you kept the huddle level, you kept a level mindset. How do you do that inside your own head? How do you keep your head level?
Yeah, it's like I said, I didn't really, you know, honestly didn't have a choice. You know, we've come this far, and those guys are dependent on me, and you know, to win games in general in this league, but especially in the playoffs, quarterback has to play well. Wasn't playing well, and I knew it was going to take a lot to turn it around, but I told the guys in the huddle, there's no 27-point plays. You know, it's going to be one play at a time, and that's what it took, one play at a time all the way down the field, just again and again and again. And all we can do at this point, we dug ourselves in this hole, all we can do is just try to score every drive. You know, then trust our defense, and if they get a stop, great, give us another chance to score. If they don't, great, we'll get the ball back, we'll go score again. So that was our mindset. And you just gotta keep playing with confidence. That was the one thing, just self-talk in my head. You know, you're going back and forth. It's tough, you know, when you're struggling and not playing well. But if I don't continue to be myself, we don't have a shot to win because, you know, then I'm going to miss the plays that I usually make. So I just had to keep my confidence. Missed a few throws, you know, I think where, you know, some of those turnovers where I was being a little cautious. Just, you know, so after that, I felt like I kind of got back on track and settled in.
We'll go to Brent and then end with you. Trevor, just to piggyback on that a little bit, is that a learned thing to be able to overcome that kind of failure? Or, I mean, could you do that, I mean, back in high school or college? I know you didn't have this kind of failure in high school or college, but would you have been able to have that second half last year even?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, probably not. Like I said, really, it's, you know, I was able to turn it around and play well in the second half, but it's all stems from the collective belief of the team. You know, when you get in that situation and you feel like everyone doesn't really believe you got a shot and things start to crumble around you, whether that's defense, offense, that's kind of when you're in trouble and it doesn't feel like you got a shot to win it. And there was never that feeling. Even at halftime, I think it was 27-7, down 20, and Foley brought everybody up and he's like, we're going to win this game. We're going to find a way to win this game. You got to believe it. And we all believed it. We really did. And that's the crazy thing is it's easy to say it after, but you don't win a game like that if you really don't. If you don't really believe it. So, man, I don't really know what else to say. I'm kind of rambling because it's just a special night. I mean, I'm just proud of the group, the city. I mean, it was a special night for a lot of people, and just thankful for everybody that played a part in it.
Trevor, why do you think this team seems to thrive on doing things sort of the hard way? You know what I mean? Like coming back from 3-7 to win the division and then something like this?
I don't know. Coach showed a video of, I don't know if you guys heard of Jocko. You guys can look it up. It's this video where he talks about good. And it's like, no matter what happens, that's your response. Good. You know, threw 4 picks in the first half. Good. You know, he showed that back in, I don't know if it was training camp or during the season, maybe when we were on that losing streak. I don't know when it was, but that's just been our mindset. You know, then we say it on the sideline joking around. One of the linemen, I forget who it was, said to me after I threw 3 or 4 picks, he was like, good. Just looking at him like, all right, not the time. But, you know, it's just the the mindset of this group, and like I said, you can't make a living on doing it the hard way all the time, but it's you're going to have to sometimes, and that we had to tonight, and we were able to get it done.
Hey, Trevor, you've played in a lot of big games in your life. This is your first career playoff game. Where does this one kind of stack up for you with the games that you've played in?
It's up there. It's a special one. Definitely one I'll never forget. First playoff win. Like we talked about, obviously, the ups and downs of the game. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. So it's special, and just there's something about this team, you know, just the way we've been able to stick together. It's really, honestly, kind of leaves you speechless sometimes, just how like I've said it a million times, but just the belief, it's really cool. So I'm proud to be a part of it, and you know, just the beginning for us.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.